Hey guys, it's me Faye here at Faye Desk, and I am back with another video. In this video we're going to be briefly talking about the moon. And so obviously I am not going to be like, what is the moon? Because I'm sure everyone, whether you're magical or not, you know what the moon is. Like, that's just without given. But more specifically, we're just going to briefly talk about moon magic. So you may in this video see me looking down a few times, and that's because I have a few notes of things that I've taken that I wanted to, in case I forgot anything for this video. So let's get started. I mean, obviously the moon has had for centuries a profound and significant effect on people. And there is something really magical about the moon. Like, I just love the moon, and this, especially when the moon's full, and just standing outside and just feeling the moon's light on you. It's just really a magical thing. And there's lots of very simple and basic rituals you can do, like moon magic. Like, I won't now give you like those spells and things because you can find them anywhere. And yeah, so basically, before you even begin to think about specifically doing moon magic, it's important that you know about the different moon phases. And obviously each phase of the moon has its own energy and its own significance. And so before you start to dabble in moon magic, it's very important that you know about the different phases of the moon. So obviously the new moon, which takes place after the moon's full, and that's good to do spells that represent new beginnings, fresh starts, like hope, optimism, faith, things like that. So after the new moon, you have the waxing moon, which is when the moon is working its way to being full again. And so this phase is very good for doing spells that help to build accomplishments, creativity, strength, sort of positivity, transformation, growth, learning. So basically, I like to think that the waxing phase of the moon is anything that you do spells or rituals, or things that you want to bring about in your life, that you want to grow and nurture as the moon grows to full. So the full moon, which obviously is the next phase after the waxing moon and the moon is full, it's a very good time to do spells for abundance, wish fulfillment, manifestations, desires, achieving sort of all your dreams, and protection and sexuality and all that sort of thing. So that's, and also any magic that you perform on the full moon is very, very magical, it's a very potent time to perform magic, because obviously the moon's at its strongest, at her peak. And then after the full moon you have the waning moon, which obviously when the moon gets smaller, you know, when you eventually see the small crescent moon. And I like to think of that phase of the moon as doing anything or casting sort of spells and things that you want to get, anything you want to get rid of in your life. So obviously as the moon gets smaller after it's full, I like to think that you do spells, anything you want to sort of get rid of in your life, like banish. And so that could be things like negative habits, sort of letting go of things, cutting toxic ties in your life, sort of clearing away, like cleansing, releasing, you know, shedding old patterns, undoing bindings, making space, making way for new. And then the dark moon is when you don't see any moon in the sky, and that is a time typically of rest, rejuvenation, peace, wisdom. Divination's a very good time to do that, so looking inward, and letting things die away naturally. A good thing as well that you probably hear a lot of witches do during when the full moon is coming is charging their sacred items. So that could be things like your wand, any sort of jewelry that you wear, special moon water that you've made, candles, could be anything that you want to charge up and consecrate. So one of the ways that people tend to do it, or that I've done it in the past as well, is I like to fill a bowl, like a special bowl that I use specifically for charging things up in the full moon, with water. Obviously I try to use bottled water. It's best to use water that's not from the tap, that's consecrated, that's from streams or rivers or the sea, but obviously not many people are lucky enough to be able to do that, so I just use bottled spring water, and I fill the bowl with the water, and obviously so it reflects off the moonlight. And if I have things that I can put in it to charge up that won't get damaged by the water, then I do. But if I have things that will get damaged in the water, if I left it in there, then what I'll do is I'll just use the water, then I'll put it and charge it up for 3 nights at the full moon, and then I'll put it in a special spray bottle, and I'll gently sort of spritz for things that I'm wanting to charge. And as well, like when I put my bowl out, I may say like a blessing of thanks for the moon lending me the energies to charge my items. And basically there's just so many things that you can do with the moon. It's all about trusting in your intuition and guidance from moon and the moon goddess, and it's just a really special time. Like, I love moon magic, and obviously the term for it is sympathetic magic. And sympathetic magic obviously works on the assumption that there's a secret sympathy that connects all the different energies. And obviously we can't see it, but that doesn't mean that it's not there. And the concept itself can be broken down into 2 parts. So you have the law of similarity and then the law of contact. And so the law of similarity is the most relevant when it comes to working with the moon, and the law basically states that magic works because like attracts like, which does make sense. And so in imitating the result you desire, your cause it to happen by attracting it to you. So basically that is another form of the law of attraction, which obviously in recent years has gained, with books like The Secret, has gained immense popularity. And it does work, it's just all about belief. And then the second part, the law of contact, it works with the idea that the energy of 2 objects continues to act as one. Act on one another even after they've separated. So the law of contact, so basically a very sort of simple or a good example of the law of contact is things like voodoo doll, because you think, like, when you practice voodoo magic and use voodoo dolls, which I personally never have done, but I know people that do, so basically you'd use, obviously, to create the voodoo doll, a piece of hair or clothing to belong to the person that you're doing the magic or the doll, and the doll represents. So that's the law of contact. And that's just an easy way to explain the differences. So you're probably wondering now how this relates to the moon, and it is basic astronomy. So when the moon's dark, like I've said, it's the new moon. And then when it becomes light, it's the waxing moon. And obviously after the full, it starts to lose the light again, so that becomes the waning moon. So an easy way to remember this is like in the Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. So you do it as wax on, wane off. So as well as sympathetic magic, as the moon light grows or waxes, you tap into the law of similarity and perform some new moon magic for what you want more of. When the moon's light shrinks, or ways, use the same law to perform magic for what you want to let go of. Like what I said, basically. But yeah, and I feel like I'm rambling again, and I feel like I've given you a few examples, but I will be doing another video that sort of carries on this theme and goes more in depth, as I know Moon Magick is very popular, and I think it really does enhance your craft, utilizing the phases of the moon and the magic of the moon. And I just sort of, like I've said in a few of my different videos, especially the one sort of like the 101 type series, is that I don't want to bog you down with too much information. Is that I just want to give you a rough idea, like a starting form, like a springboard for you to go off and do your own research and get your own ideas. Like, I don't want you to watch this video or any of my videos and take exactly what I say as gospel. Like, obviously I am very experienced. I have been doing the craft for a long time, and I know a vast variety of different topics, but this is just my opinion and my way that and what I believe and how I practice. I wouldn't want you to take what I say as complete gospel. Like, you may resonate and feel like what I say you feel like has a lot of truth in it, but my way isn't the only way, if that makes sense. Like, you may feel that some of the things I say don't resonate with you, and that's totally fine. But the whole point is that I want to do these videos to give you an idea for you to go off and do your own research and to discover what you think or what you feel resonates with you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to know your thoughts on Moon Magick. And also as well, like this video if you enjoyed it, and comment below to let me know if you want me to do a series on Moon Magick, as I still have a lot of stuff I could say, and obviously I could do a whole series, and I think that would be pretty cool and pretty fun. So yeah, so I will see you in my next video. Blessed be.